And what's wrong now with the way it's running, the U.S. government? I mean,
you mean wrong with our country, or?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that is needed is the fact that I don't think enough people in high positions in our country accept the importance of our world role with sufficient gravity. I mean, in other words, I think the tendency, because of politics and getting elected, is to stress local issues, and of course they are important, but I would like to see more of the leaders of our country spend more time in traveling, for one thing, getting to know the world, and studying history. To me, one of the sad things about our country is that our leadership, to a greater extent than I would like, is more concerned about very domestic issues than they are about our relations in the world.
Now, what about the plunging dollar and the rising euro, and the apparently Asian countries have been unloading their U.S. Treasury holdings? Are you worried about the economic situation now?
Well, I think that that has to be related to the problems within our own country, and in the ones reading about in the papers today, that there's grave concern about what our role should be, how it should be handled, and how we should better manage our own domestic economy. And I think this is becoming a serious issue that is going to have to be addressed by any politicians who wish to be re-elected, that they have to see that the issue of our economy and what influences it is better understood and more successfully addressed.
You'll be meeting the Emperor, is that correct?
I'm looking forward to that.
What will you be talking about?
That will certainly, to a large extent, be his decision. My impression is that emperors tend to lead conversations. I have had the good fortune and privilege of meeting him a number of times before. I would hope we would have a chance to talk a little bit about his views of the world and how he feels our country is relating to Japan. But also our family has had quite close relations with Japan for many years and with the royal family. So my suspicion and even hope is that we might also talk about those relationships in the past and where they might go in the future.
Japanese newspapers have talked about this weekend about an imminent fundamental change in U.S.-Japan security relations. Have you heard anything about this?
I don't think so, really. And it's not an issue that I would think the Emperor would want to discuss with me. I mean, I can't imagine that would be one of the things we talk about. I don't think it would be appropriate.
Right. And your nephew, Jay, he studied in Japan, didn't he?
He spent 3 years here.
And do you have good relations with him? Some Japanese people are telling me that you've had some sort of fight, but again, I don't know.
No idea what they're talking about. We have very close, loving family relations. I don't know what...
All right. Well, again, this is just what people have told me. I don't know, that's why I'm trying to confirm it now.
I don't think they knew what they were talking about.
Now, which issue do you think is more important now, the war on terror or global warming?
There are two major issues, both of which have to be addressed. They're very separate, and I think the way we deal with them there have to be different steps taken. They're just fairly separate issues, but both important, major importance.
Okay. Now, if you had to say one message to the world, what would it be?
I think that the best hope for peace and prosperity in the world is greater cooperation among nations, which in turn will be produced if both our governments and the people of our countries travel more and get to know each other better.